Greetings, citizens! Last time on the Just Create SMP, we built a Roman bath containing an iron and andesite alloy factory. Today we'll be bringing power to a new permanent Roman province in this world. Let's do it. Last time we began by checking the shop for any purchases. Well, exciting news, citizen. Have a look at this. 2 diamonds. We made 2 sales. So I think if we... boop, there we go. Aren't you excited for me, Pigacus? No, that doesn't work either. Anyway, I've got an idea. There we go. Gotta have one of these, right? Our first diamond. Proudly on display. Keep up the good work, Pigus. Alright, with that taken care of, you may remember that last time we set up this, oh wow, that grew a lot. I was gonna say we set up this bathhouse, and a lot of the, vines are starting to take over. I don't hate it though, actually. You'll also remember that the point of this was to have an iron farm and an andesite farm. You may also remember that it did not cause lag and server crashes. Not at all. But I still think it's time to start moving away from spawn. And you may ask why. Well, there's kind of 2 reasons. And number 1, if we look up here, spawn is, busy. It's very crowded. Just about everybody else has begun to move away from spawn to have larger, permanent base areas where they can spread out and just have an area that is mainly just their things, rather than being on top of one another like they are here. That's something we should start doing as well. So that's reason number 1, just more space for what we have in mind and what we want to spread out and do without having to be concerned about getting too close to what other people are building. Reason number 2, unsurprisingly, the area that is causing the most lag is spawn. It's the busiest area, there's the most going on. And while it's not bad, we want to avoid any potential issues in the future. So because of that, I had thought we should probably take the most, CPU intensive things, I guess you could call them, and potentially move them away from spawn. That would include things like the factories inside the bathhouse, the factory down here that is creating the golden carrots, and really even the workshop potentially. Really anything that we have built up with a lot of create components. And if that's the plan, there's a lot of preparations we need to do. Firstly, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start going around and getting schematics of everything. I don't intend to manually rebuild everything that we've already done. So if we go through and grab a schematic of Vulcan's Forge, of the factory down at Midas Touch Emporium downstairs, and even of the factories inside the bathhouse here, then we could essentially just tear them down and recreate them exactly as they are elsewhere, further away from spawn. Now that also means we need to choose an area for a more permanent base, and I think I already have one in mind. You've seen it in past episodes, and it's actually not far. It's just over here to the east, in this area right here on the water. And while it wouldn't take a long time to fly there, it still would take some time. That makes me think, I wonder if it'd be worthwhile to create a nether highway, or not really a nether highway, but at least a shortcut in the nether on the nether roof. Second reason for that is, this will shock you, I have not been to the nether one time in this series yet. So I'm wondering if this episode we should spend our time doing that, creating schematics, setting up an outpost at our new area, getting a shortcut in the nether, and while we're there, probably doing some collecting because, look at there, we're still using torches. I don't have any other kind of light. And though I have the cosmetic armor turned off so it doesn't look like I'm wearing any, I am wearing diamond armor, but that wouldn't hurt if we turn that into netherite. So as you can see, there is a lot to do to prepare to move to a more permanent base. And while I don't know how far we're going to get today, that's going to be my goal. As far as where to begin, I think we should grab ourselves some obsidian if we're going to be going to the nether roof and making shortcuts. And it just so happens I've got tons of lava waiting here for me, so we'll grab a bunch of that, and let's just make a little area here to start putting this down and creating some obsidian. One would have to imagine there's already access to the nether roof somewhere, I just need to find it, because, as I mentioned, I have not been to the nether one time. There we go, and collect. There we go, 20 obsidian, enough for 2 portals. Also, if we're going to the nether, we should get a better shield, because we've got this one nearly broken, and I think it finally makes sense to get one that will not break, which means we need mending and unbreaking. There we go, and we'll call that Caesar's Wall. Mending, unbreaking shield. Beautiful. And I think to make things easy, we may as well just make a portal right here in Vulcan's Forge, so it's always an area where we can just run right in. So we'll activate that one here, and I took the coordinates. I think we should be able to find another portal, get up to the roof, and then link it to a new one there, which means I actually miscounted. We don't need 2 portals, we need 4. This should give us what we need. So first up, we find our way into the nether, hope that somebody already is up on the nether roof. I assume somebody will be. And then set up the other portal that will link to the one that we created down in Vulcan's Forge. Now I know I've seen one over, yeah, right there. Let's see where that leads. Hopefully not into the maws of death, or actually looking at this, not right into a train. An oncoming train. Ah, what's the worst that could happen? Hey, look at that. I knew we'd figure it out. Okay, now where do we need to go? Really not far. Right here, in fact. Just almost right next to it. Alright, let's see if I still remember how to do this. Alright, there we go. We light it, and then hopefully we come out in our base. Hey, look at us, I remembered. So that's step 1. Now our base is connected to the nether roof. Step 2, we head to where the new base is going to be, set up a new portal, and then get that linked up. Alright, let's head on over. I think this is it right here. This is what we're going to call home, this hill. When I passed it, I just thought this was beautiful. Do free cam, and if we zoom out a bit here, we've got this hill. It kind of dips down in the center, which I thought was really cool. It's got different grass areas, the stone areas. There's a little forest with pumpkins out here, a river behind it, the sea on this side, goes around in the back to some more area here. I just think there's a lot that we could do with this. And actually, look over here. I don't even know that I noticed this part. It's kind of hollowed out on this end. Just a lot of cool stuff. So I don't know where we want the portal because it might change in the future, but I think that's all right. Yeah, it almost certainly will change, so why don't we just put it right at the top of this hill for now. All right, we've got the coordinates. We'll light that. Then we head back to create its twin in the nether. So this is what we're saving ourselves, not having to fly back and forth each time. Now we head off into this direction, and it looks like this is the spot right here. So this should lead us to the new area. There we go. Look at that. Easy. So now our shortcut is set up, and we have two options. I can start going to make those schematics, or we could do a bit of nether exploration, and I'm leaning towards the second. I really wouldn't feel bad getting all of this stuff turned to netherite. So let's head back real quick, which is much easier now because all we have to do is fly over here and we are immediately back in our base. Beautiful. I just realized too I have the wrong minecart contraption. I'm guessing I must have left my minecart down in the mine because there's no way I'm manually digging out all of that netherrack. I'm a senator, I can't be expected to do manual labor. I also remembered we're going to put a list filter on the deployer that's on our mining drill. That way it will put down anything. Right now I think it's set for deep slate, but if we use the list filter, we'll be able to ensure that it doesn't matter what we're getting. If we got deep slate, if we get cobble, endstone, netherrack, it'll put down anything like that. There you are, sneaky mining drill. So yeah, real quick, we'll do that. Yeah, this right here is set to deep slate, so if we use our list filter with cobblestone, cobble, deep slate, endstone, netherrack, and put that there, that is what we want. Then we can pick you back up and be on our merry way. Actually, we should probably count too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8 bits of netherite, which is what? 32 ancient debris, right? So we'll shoot for 32 or more. All right, let's do it. I did see that somebody already had a way down over here, so that's what we'll use. And we're looking for around level 15, Y level 15, which it looks like somebody else was looking for too, because I think that's right about where this stops. Yep. Oh my goodness, somebody's been busy. Well, I'm sure they wouldn't mind if we pick up where they left off. Okay, we'll start our own little new spot right here, and I can actually see that there's lava ahead of us on the mini-map, so maybe we want to go that way. We're gonna run into lava no matter what we do. Alright, here we go. Time to do some mining in the nether. Wow, that didn't take long. I don't know why, but I think a fact about the Roman underworld seems appropriate right now. Pluto is the Roman equivalent of the Greek god Hades, king of the underworld. His name, Pluto, comes from the Greek word plauton, meaning wealth, reflecting the belief that the earth held riches, such as the minerals in the earth or how crops grow out of the earth. Very appropriate for Minecraft. Gotta get those diamonds and ancient debris. There we go, just over what we need, 33. Now the template is probably what's going to be a little bit more difficult. Let's head back and then we can do some flying around and seeing if we could find any Bastion remnants. And hope that they haven't been looted already. This feels like it's not going to be safe, but I wonder if I can just fly through most of this, because we're going to have to do stuff like this and dodge and bob and weave through all of the lava. It should be fine, right? Oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. Whoop, got some angry piggies behind me. Nope. Later, fellas. Alright, let's see what we can find. This looks promising right here. I'm guessing, though, that most everything near... Oh, hey, advancement, nice. Anything near, like, spawn-ish area, though? Probably looted already? I did see gold, though. Hello? Oh, hey, fellas. Yeah, they don't look like a happy bunch in there. Maybe we just thin the herd a little bit? Ooh, I see a piggy head in there. I want that. Thank you. Neat. Okay. Oh, no way. Ha! First chest. That's incredible. I mean, I'll take it. I am not bothered by that at all. I mean, we could keep looting, but I don't know that I want to risk it since we've had such good luck. That's technically all that we came for. We also got a blaze upgrade. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, you know what? We're not going to risk it. We will make a waypoint. We can come back if needed, but for now, we are out of here. And I think I need to go this way. Oh yeah, this is one of the big ones. I'm pretty sure there's a treasure room at the bottom. Wouldn't there be? I don't know. We're not going to get greedy. We're going home. I said we're going home, pig. Whew, found it. Okay. And back home. Whew, good to be back. Alright, I am going to put my valuables in here, and then I'm going to sort through all the inventory of the mining drill. Then we can start talking about the next steps. Alright, that's all sorted. We'll convert that. We need to smelt the ancient debris, but at the same time, we're going to need a lot of these. Man, I keep forgetting that's so expensive. That's alright, I've got lots of diamonds, so we're going to need... How many did I say? 5, 6, 7, 8-ish, I think. There we go, there's 8, but we should get a couple extras if we can. There we go, 10 total. Now, let's get the ancient debris added to our schmeltery. There we go, netherite scraps. We can turn that into exactly what we need. 8 netherite ingots. Next up, smithing table. Bonk. Take off all of our gear, and we begin upgrading, starting with Jupiter's Delabra. This is always such a great feeling, going from, let's see, what's the, about 33% more durability, it looks like. And in case you need it, it is more attack damage in case you're frantically attacking with your pickaxe when you forget your sword. All right, beautiful. Let's do it. Oh, I should, the axe. We'll go back for the axe. It's not even upgraded yet with other stuff, so I'll do that. Then we'll go netherite. But for now, Mars Exulte, Goopy-Doo, the Vulcan Plate, Mercury's Sandals, Pluto's Pantaloons, and Neptune's Helm. Cover me in debris. Yes. I mean, we've got to do that, right? We could change the cosmetics so we can actually see ourselves wearing it now. It's a status symbol. But anyway, you've seen plenty of enchanting and all that sort of thing, so I'm just going to go and do what I need to do with the axe. We'll get that added to the netherite ingot, or the other way around. We'll get the netherite ingot added to it, and then we'll start talking about the next steps. See you in a few, citizen. I was going to do some trades, and our villagers are missing. It's possible with the new build that we have some dark areas and like a zombie found its way up and walked up. I'm not really sure. Either way, we've got what we need. So why don't we go with Antony's axe after Mark Antony and get that last one taken care of. Now that we're looking nice and sharp, I think it probably makes sense to run around and grab schematics of all the things that we're going to need in the future. And that, of course, is everything that we're going to be moving to our new area. One is the workshop, and I don't know if we're going to use the storage or not, but we'll include it just in case. So there's the entire area, which we'll need to make bigger. So we'll go like this, bring it up. And I don't know if I want to get for example, the ceiling and the floor. Maybe that would make sense. Yeah, that's everything right there. Because if we build the entire room, including the walls, the ceiling, and the floor, we could always take things out as needed if, like, it fits differently where we're going to put it. But either way, that should work. So let's grab that, and we'll call that Vulcan's Forge. Down at Midas Touch Emporium, this one I'm not sure about, because I learned a lot of things while making this one, and if we were to recreate a gold farm, I might do it differently. Because of that, I'm not sure that I want to create a schematic of this one. We might just decommission it. The reason I'm comfortable with that is because even if we start getting a lot of sales in here, we have close to 9,000 golden carats. That's going to last a long time. And while I also learned a lot while making the iron and the andesite alloy farms, I may still grab schematics of these because there's a lot I would be keeping. I'd probably just be doing little tweaks here and there. So we will grab these ones. So that just needs to go all the way up, just so it's encompassing all of the cobblestone generator, even though that's probably the thing that we're going to be changing. And we'll grab all of that. We'll call that one LV Iron Farm. And then really it's the same thing over here. This one is not complex and would be easy enough to recreate, but even so, I think we'll grab it. There we go, that should be everything right there. So now that we have those, we have another decision to make. We know we need to head over there and start construction on something. And while I have ideas, we'll probably want to start small and just get set up with the basics over there. So because of that, I think I'll fill these shulker boxes with some of the basics, like building materials. Then we'll head over there and get a start. Alright, I've got a good amount here, and I think that should be fine for just setting up some basic things. But I remembered something really important. I'm not really going to have the option to route our beardy power all the way over there. And windmills are great, but I don't know that I want to be messing around with that, when we could probably make a lot more power over there with our own sort of lava and boiler setup. So because of that, we need a schematic of this room as well. That way we'll have power available to us. In fact, that might not be a bad first step. So now that we have all of those basics, let's grab our shulkers and head over to the new area and just kind of get our bearings. Hello, sir. Now, I do know eventually I'd like the tops of the hills and basically everywhere where there's any height there to be, glorious monuments to Rome. This will essentially be like one of the 7 hills of Rome. But as I don't have a layout yet in mind, I'll need to work through all of that. I think it probably makes sense to maybe over in this valley right here, make a little starter builder's hut. Just so we have an area of operations, and then maybe even right here next to it, we can dig out a spot for our lava farm and get power established. That way in future episodes we can continue to build up this area, but we'll already have power. It's not going to have to be a concern of ours. And I just made that up on the fly, so maybe we'll start doing a little bit of work and we'll just see if it holds up. Excuse me. So first up, a little builder's hut over here. This seems like a good spot right here. There we go, just get all those set out, and it doesn't need to be large. I'm thinking something just small little area where we could keep basically stuff like this. Crafting table, stone cutter, any little bit of storage. We might add larger storage if we need to bring over a bit more, but for now, let's just do a quaint little hut. And there we go, beautiful little builder's hut for kind of a temporary little place to stay, at least as we get everything else built out. Means this can all move inside, and now we just need to get our lava farm set up inside of here. I'm choosing there because, well, I guess we can check. Looks like, yeah, this is already empty in here, or rather there's no caves or anything like that. There's a good amount of space. It would be right beneath here. And I think it's a good location because we'll be able to link it up to power right around there anyway, and then as we build our way up this hill, it should be very easy to route the power through and get it wherever we need it. Now I think I did forget the mining drill, yep. So we'll head back for that, we'll dig out an area, and then I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of collecting because we'll want a schematic cannon in the lava farm. So, real quick trip back to spawn, and that's why we built these, because it's going to be a lot easier to go back and forth. Alright, we've got what we need. I'm just thinking, after we dig this through, we might turn it around, because this would be a really awkward place for the entrance, and I think it would make a lot more sense if the entrance was over here somewhere. So we might dig a big hole into this, and then, like, dig our entrance out more delicately right here, and then cover up anything that we dig right there. But first, we need the space. And that looks like it'll be good. That sheep is really going to want to move. Let's see if it's one of the smart ones or not, but that should do it. Alright, in you go. Hey, you did move. You are one of the smart ones. Maybe. I don't know about that. And we'll give it as much space as we can. We'll bring it all the way till it's about to touch and open up out here. That's getting pretty close. We could probably start it or stop it right about there. Yeah, because now we're right here, which comes out right there, and I think that's a good amount of space. Yep. Okay. Now, out of curiosity, let's get that schematic of the lava farm. There we go. Load the lava farm into that, because I want to see, did I do the right amount of space? Okay, I'm going to need to alter that quite a bit. Hold on. Here we go. Get it down into the floor, and it's sideways. That's why. Okay, that's actually not bad, because my thought is this will actually be the back of the cave. Like I said, we're going to close this up. So this wall will be closed. This will be the back, which means this will be the front, which means we might have some power generation up here, and then we can send the power up and out. So if that is the case, we can select this here, bring out our schematic cannon, realize that I forgot my clipboard, but at the same time I was curious about this. Somebody mentioned that there were settings that I didn't go into, and right now it's saying replace solid with any. It will replace solid blocks in its working area if the schematic cannon contains any block at the location. Get missing blocks, protect block entities. This might be what I want. The cannon will clear out all blocks in its working area, including those replaced by air, because the schematic includes the area underneath the lava farm, which some of it was air. I think that's what we want. So I'll go grab a clipboard and then probably do a lot of the collecting. We need essentially everything that we just collected last episode to make a lava farm, unless we broke down the last one, which I don't know that I want to do, so it shouldn't be too bad just to get all that stuff again. So I'll work on that, and then I'll let you know when we're ready to start shooting this thing into existence. Alright, I think that's everything. I did leave some things out, like the stone, because that's the floor. We've already got that. Spruce logs and the, I actually left that out, the deep slate tile. I don't want to put that into this one. Gravel, grass blocks, little things like that I just left out. But the important thing should be there. And man, that was a lot of iron. I probably should have taken the cauldrons, but I didn't. So it should all be ready to go. I'm very much hoping that I got this right and thought of it all correctly. But worst that happens is that we just do a little bit of work to fix it up. Gonna be much easier than rebuilding the whole thing from scratch. So let's click play and get this started. Oh, it's starting with underground. Okay. Hopefully that's working as I intend it, because I have no way of telling just yet. Or wait, no, I do have a way of telling. What are we doing? Okay, so yeah, it's actually shooting out air blocks, which is quite helpful. So you can see it's actually digging out an area for me, which is nice. I don't have to do it myself. That's great. And that looks correct so far. Okay, there we go. Now we're up to here. Well, that's nice to know. If we ever need to in the future, this can shoot air blocks out and essentially clear out an area for us. There we go, coming up to the pipes, followed by the cauldrons, and finally gonna build up... Oh, that's weird. Hanging dripstone without anything on it. That's eerie. That's very strange to see. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, but this doesn't, it doesn't work with lava. Things like water, lava, liquids basically, I don't think you can use. So it's not a big deal, we just need to go and collect lava and put it down at the top again. Which, fortunately, there's a lava pool in here, over there somewhere. This should be the last layer, I think. Once it finishes with that, Oh no, there's more? Did I cover it up on top? That might be what it is. Oh yeah, the little, like, surrounding area thing. There we go. Is that it? Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, beautiful. Just like that, we've replicated what we already have back at spawn. Don't know why these aren't showing up like that. I had to right-click them with my wrench. There we go. But anyway, I've got a bit of work left still. We're going to clean this up, and I will get to work filling this with lava. Just so, kind of like last time, we can get this filling. Actually, it didn't ask me for a water wheel. I must not have gone down far enough. So we'll have to power it with a water wheel. I'm going to fill it with lava. That way this can all start filling the couple tanks that we have. And then after that, we should be good to transform this area into essentially a boiler power plant. That should give us the power that we need at the new area. See you in a few, citizen. Oops, I forgot that we didn't cap this. Whoops. That should be a good temporary fix. Yeah, we're kind of flooding the area down there. Looks like no harm, no foul, though. Anyway, this is all full, and this time we filled every source block. I didn't do that at the one back at base. A couple of you mentioned I probably should have. So this one is completely full with source blocks. Everything is filling up nicely, and we should now be able to start thinking about boiler power. And I don't think I'm mistaken with this if it's steam engine that we're using. Yeah, so we'll need fluid tanks. Connecting a shaft gives kinetic output. And you basically just need heat, water, and boiler space. So you can use campfires, it's not very efficient, and it's not what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. Blaze burners, and we'll feed it lava. So I'll head back home, grab all the stuff we're going to need, and then we'll get power. There we go. I've made some extra fluid tanks, and apparently this is what we need for a steam engine. Block of copper, andesite alloy, and golden sheet. And I'm thinking we should maybe shoot for 9 of these. I'm kind of thinking just start with a single boiler, because we could always expand in the future. So yeah, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll also need 4 empty blaze burners, and we'll have to go fill those, of course. The blaze burner appears to be on fire, but not active. That's very strange. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. There we go. Didn't have to fight any blaze. That's always nice. Now I think we're also going to need a mechanical arm. Yep, one of these, because I don't believe we can pump the lava directly into the blaze burners. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I don't think we have it in this mod pack. So instead, we'll need a mechanical arm to pick up buckets of lava and place it directly into the blaze burners. And actually, we might be able to double check that. Let's see what Beardy has set up over here. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Mechanical arm, buckets, and lots of power. We'll be doing a much smaller version of this, essentially. Okay, good to confirm. Here we go, we've got everything we need. Precision mechanism, brass casing, some brass sheets, andesite alloy gives us a mechanical arm. What was I just thinking we'd also need? Oh yeah, I'm guessing we'll need a spout as well, which is copper casing and dried kelp. This is so we can fill buckets with lava. There we go, 1 spout. As always, I'm sure that we're forgetting something. And before you say buckets, I do have some buckets already, but I think we'll just go start setting things up, and we'll realize what we forgot when we get there. Actually, it might not be a bad idea to bring a stressometer as well. That way, we need goggles, give me more detailed information. I was just thinking we could use it to see how much we're generating once we get this set up. Yeah, why not? How hard could it be? So how do I make one? Oh, there we go. Andesite casing and compass. Okay, so that creates a speedometer, which is not what we want. Current speed, yeah, we don't really care about that too much, but apparently we can change that into a stressometer, which we can. That's what we want. There we go. Okay, let's head back. I suppose it might make sense to take care of the entrance and decorations before we put in a boiler, just because I won't know, you know, where to put everything if I'm not sure what's gonna look nice. Yeah, we may as well do that now while we're thinking about it. Let's head over to our builder's hut to grab materials and get organized. There we go, got plenty of slabs to work with, a few pillars, and maybe we'll get some stairs as well for accents, you never know. Okay, that should be plenty to start with. So there's going to be a transition here from this type of flooring so that it moves to being just the border. Then we fill with the spruce slabs. And I kind of forgot, in case we ever need to get down here, I was thinking maybe I use trapdoors here or something that we could open up. In fact, I am smart, so I brought extra. Aha! Don't give me that, citizen. I have my moments. Not that this is even gonna work, probably, because if I do all of that... yeah, it's not even gonna work. Doesn't matter. I'm calling it a good idea. Doesn't have to be an idea that actually works. It just has to be an idea. I had it, therefore it's good. That's the way the world works. Welcome to the empire of me, population 1. Anywho, we got some pillars for this side, and actually, what do I want to do? Something like this. Oh wait, it's gonna have to be a certain height. We'll wait over here, because the boiler is gonna have to be a certain height to make this work properly. Also, we need to think about expandability, if that's a word, because if we're starting with 1, I'm guessing, well, we could go further into here, we could go further this way. So if we're starting with 1 here, I'm guessing we would just say, well, I think we could get away with going this direction. So we could always just push it further that way if we need more. But honestly, we could probably fit 4 in here or even more than that, so I don't know that we'd need that many more. And if the lava is right there coming down this central line this way, we'll probably have our first and only boiler for the beginning right here in the middle. And then counting, it would be blaze burner, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before we get to where a ceiling would be, which is actually enough space to fit 9 of those on. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And we had an entrance here, but I'm actually going to move it over here. That way it's not awkwardly in a corner. There we are. We'll have to fix up the outside eventually, but for now, that means we can cover this one. There we go. And it's not even right now, so I think I'll do 1 more just to make it even. We'll probably make this taller too. This is not a permanent little thing that we've got right here. Gonna need some work, that's for sure. Now we need some walls and a ceiling. Do another deep slate border around for the ceiling. Then we can fill it with spruce. And earlier I talked about the fact that we didn't go to the nether, and one of the reasons I wanted to go was for lighting, and here I am using a bunch more torches. I might run back real quick, get some glowstones or something to put in here. Yeah, let's finish the ceiling and then I might do that. There we go, now we just need to fill in the walls, and we will have ourselves a working room for a boiler. We're going with some stripped oak and then just filling with cut tough bricks. Widen out the entrance a little bit and add more on this side, and that should give us more of a look of a complete room rather than a hole in the wall, which to be fair is kind of what it is. We'll probably do more with this part of the entrance later, but I just want to have it so that the way in is at least covered with something. There we go. I don't want mobs, so I'm leaving torches, but I think we are going to run and grab some better lighting for this room in particular. And it's not because I'm sick to death of torches. It might be because I'm sick to death of torches. Anyway, we'll make this fast. I'm going to go drop off some of the stuff in the shulker boxes. Probably just get a ton of glowstone? Well, hold on. Copper bulbs. Oh, those are blaze rods. I wouldn't, well, it's a lot of copper though. Maybe a few of these? That might actually be easier with that blaze spawner over there. Well, either way, we gotta head back. Let's drop off our stuff and then come to a decision. Yeah, I could use a heal on my elytra anyway and some more levels, so we may as well go fight some blaze real quick. Back at the burner, hopefully we can't really break anything around here by doing this. I don't see how we could. Might need to remove some torches. Yeah, that was it. Hey, buddy. Thank you. Not the fastest working thing in the world. There we go. Wow. With looting 3, that works pretty quickly, getting these blaze rods. Hey, what are you doing out there? Nope, I'm gonna be in trouble if I let you out into the whole, you know, friendly area. Man, I can't see a thing when I'm doing this. There we go. I think that's plenty. 21 should be good. We'll put these back and see how much copper we have. I think I brought it all with me, actually. There might be some here. Not much at all, actually. But I don't always target copper when I go mining. I bet we have some down here. Yeah, I think I just leave it for the most part. So let's grab everything here, Head back up, make some of these lights, and we can finally get rid of some of the torches. Kind of forgot that we ran into a geode at 1.2. Hello. Yeah, just what I saw at first glance, we're already over 4 stacks, which is probably enough. There's even some at the entrance, jeez. Yeah. 7.5 stacks. Melt it all up. Oh no, I accidentally just let the cat off the seat. No. Come here, copycat. There we go. You stay there. Hey! I clearly am putting you on this seat. There we go. Jeez. Okay. Should probably get around to taming the cat at some point. Nah, that's what a smart person would do. Okay. We can get good amount of these, actually. Maybe we start with a half stack, just so we don't use everything that we have. But we'll bring the extra with anyway. Okay, let's head back. Oh, neat. It looks like when it rains, it snows up on top of the mountain. That's pretty cool. Got a little tiny snowy area up here, which, I mean, obviously, I just didn't think about the fact that it would actually snow when it rains. I'm a fan of that. And now, we can actually use this entrance, which means I should close up the back, shouldn't I? Well, I could do 2 things. I was going to close it up, if you remember. We talked about that. But I could also just get some glass and, like, do a big old window here. I might do that. We'll leave it for now. What I should be able to do is open up some spaces in the ceiling. Just going 1, 2, 3 in diagonally. 1, 2, 3. And then if I'm remembering correctly, because I very rarely use copper bulbs, but if I remember correctly, I think these are the ones. Oh, it's offset weird. Whoops. I didn't think about that. No, I need that back. Maybe it would look better if they were popping out a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. But what I was saying, I'm pretty sure with redstone lamps, you have to leave the redstone on. Like if I was using a lever, I'd have to leave the lever there. I think with copper bulbs, and this is, I'm sure, obvious to everybody, I'm more explaining it to myself. I think with copper bulbs, after you turn them on, I could just remove this, and yeah, there we go. It just stays on. So that is preferable to the redstone lamps because I don't have to leave a redstone signal on there. Which once again, I'm sure all of you knew, but quite often I am behind the times because once again, I am an old man. There we go. Means we should no longer need any of these. We will put one in here as well. And I don't know about over here, because I might actually put a wall up here anyway. Something maybe right around here. And again, with like some windows or something, just so we could see in and check out what's happening in the back room. Actually, this might work. I was talking about how this wouldn't work if I do that. And yeah, I mean, I could do that. It's a little bit awkward, but that works. Anyway, kind of been distracted. We need to work on this boiler. Let's get the stuff. Mainly that, so we'll take that one. I'll also take that, and that should be good. Okay, now first up, as we were talking about... Oh, I'm so dumb. I think I did this last time in my last Create series, didn't I? I don't know why, but 4 blaze burners always seems appropriate to me. We don't need 4. We need 9, just like the steam engines. And through the power of editing, Legion's mistake is fixed. Whoa, look at that. I've got 10 blaze burners, which is hopefully one more than I'm actually going to need. Anyway, why don't we set it up over here? Because, yeah, I was thinking 4, which once again, wrong. This is much bigger than it was going to be in my brain. So we'll definitely do 1 here, and then, you know, who knows? We could always do things like pump the lava further along and just build another one in another room somewhere else. We could schematic cannon this same setup elsewhere if we need it. But for now, I think the one that I have in mind is going to be plenty of space. Or plenty of stress. I can't talk. You know I can't talk, citizen, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to be fully coherent for you to know what I'm talking about. We know each other well enough. Anyway, so what we wanted was this full-sized 3x3 fluid tank type dealio. And that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 tall. It's not going to be the max size that we can get, obviously. But as I keep stating, mainly for my own benefit, because I'd like to believe it, this should be plenty of stress, plenty of power. And we've got these 9, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are our steam engines. As you can see, that converted it to a boiler. Now we need to pump lava here, get a mechanical arm to put it into the blaze burners, but we also need water, which I'll probably just put right behind it here. Yeah, let's just say we have like a little trough over here. I've made it impossible to put water in here. Look at this, because stairs, it's just going to do that. These are slabs, so it's just going to do that. It's entirely impossible for me to do anything. We'll do that. Ha! Thwarted you, game. The part with the water should be easy enough, except that I need power. That's always the issue. Got power over there. I could just run it all the way along, which is probably what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to run the lava along anyway, so we'll do that. But first, we will get a pump going that way. I do think we need one in the water. I could be wrong about that, but I think we do. That's going the correct direction, so once we power that, that will be giving us the water into the boiler, which we need. This just looks odd to me right now, so let's put these like that, because I do think we're going to run the power up and out of here. So those three are all leading up, which is good, because yeah, we're just going to go straight up here. And as I mentioned, we'll just kind of bring the power probably on chain conveyors all the way up to the top where we need it. Okay, next up, lava. Lava. Nope, no. So we'll just bring this all the way through here. In fact, that's going really slow. I wonder if we need faster power for this pump over here. We could try it with this one and see how it goes. Trying to be smart and think ahead about where I want certain things. Say we wanted a bucket of lava right there. We would want a spout. Nope. Spout above that, because it's going to fill. So we would actually put a bucket there. It would fill it with lava, which means we want another tank of lava right next to it, which would be right here. I don't know if you need a fluid pipe or a pump. Yeah, you need a pump. Okay, so we have to pump stuff into it. This is one of the things I always hate about setting up new areas, is that all the things to generate power need some amount of power itself. Might actually be able to send the power from there over here. So yeah, we'll figure that part out later. But that looks good. It also means we need to be bringing in the lava from right here. So we're underneath that exact same tank. That's going to be coming along this way. And there will have to be a pump somewhere in between here, because it's not going to make it all the way. Probably right around here. Going that way. There we go. Now I'm just routing power over here real quick. There we go. That should be very, very slowly pumping water in. Did I bring my goggles with? I think I did. Yeah, let's throw those on. There we go. So we've got no water. It's not coming in yet. Is that wrong? Do I not need that there? Yeah, there we go. There's the water. Puddle collector. Nice. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's anywhere near fast enough, because look at this. Water input rate 4 millibuckets out of 10 per tick. Yeah, I do think that'll have to speed up. So we'll get to that eventually. I just want to do a proof of concept. I'm looking at this because I'm trying to imagine how we get the rotation of buckets going properly. And I think mechanical arms are pretty smart. So for example, if we were to put a brass funnel up there and filter it for empty buckets, I think we can tell the brass arm, take full buckets of lava from here, put it in the blaze burners, and then deposit the empty buckets here. So there's always kind of a circle of those going. And of course we'd have them coming out there. Hopefully that's enough space for everything to happen. And in fact, I think I'm going to make a speed controller and put another water wheel beneath all of this rather than trying to link it into that one over there, because I want to speed it up and power this, and the mechanical arm. I'm hoping a water wheel or two can handle all three of those at a higher speed. So let's get that set up. Let's say maybe 128 for the speed. The powerhouse. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Oh, maybe there's a little bit of heat, so it's actually running. Interesting. Okay, well, that's good. I'm not quite getting enough water in there. We'll see if that changes when I get the heat in. And I've already overstressed it with one water wheel. Okay, let's reconfigure things. All right, there's 3 water wheels. We'll try that. And lava should be coming through. Flow discovery. We're just making advancements left and right. Okay, so now this is filling. We've got a lot more speed coming through all of this. We need power to that, of course, as well as mechanical arm. There's power to this. That shouldn't do anything yet because there's nothing for it to sort of inject the lava into. But at this point, everything is powered. Well, except for the arm when we put that down. So I think we're ready to try that. So just to remind myself, right-click to assign them as targets. Right-click again between input, which is blue, and output, which is yellow. So I think what we want is input from here, so take items from the depot, and then we'll be putting them into the brass funnel, but also all of these. And I'm hoping we can scroll off of it for a second because I'm gonna need to do this. Get that one. Oh, it doesn't like me doing that. Okay, might have to go underneath and do it that way. Open all that up real quick. All right, let's try this again. Take from here, deposit into here. All of these, we want to put them there, including that one. And then if I just put it back here, I'm hoping it can reach everything. So let's just say right there. Organizotron, Combustatron. Getting all these advancements, I love it. Okay, now if we power this, like so, we should be able to put that there and then, like that. No, so close. I could do more water wheels, but let's see what speed it runs at. If we go to 96, that'll work. But I do think it needs more water. Either way, let's see if we can get this to work properly. Which really should just be adding buckets to the item vault. Wish me luck, this is the moment of truth. Let's start with just a few. I don't know if there's an easier way than kind of just chucking them in there. So we do that, and then... Oh, wait, did it work? No, it's just grabbing them. Okay, can we filter? So for example, if I grab this and... Ooh, I'm a bit worried about this. Am I gonna just place lava down when I do this? No, that didn't work. Okay, how do I get it to stop doing that? Do I do forced round robin or prefer first target? No, because that's the first target. How do I fix this? Because it's trying to fill it, it's just this is going too fast. Okay, so I took power away, now it's putting all of the lava buckets there, fine. What happens if I do that now and it takes one? Yeah, now it's starting to power these, that's what we want. But when it uses those four, it is putting them back in. That's really good. So now we do that. It took the last one. Is it going to take the lava? No, it's going for the empty bucket first. Weird. Maybe I just needed an ability to start like that because it does seem like it's able to keep up with it now. It's just preferring to take empty buckets, which I don't like. Oh, maybe we should have selected these first and that second. Yeah, let's try that. So we say take from here and then we do all of these first. Deposit them there, and then last put them there. Then when we put you down, we can say prefer first target, which is these. Either way, those are all running, so this, I think that'll keep up. And that's already 65,000 stress, which is great, it just needs more water. So this either needs to speed up or I need a second pump, which should be easy enough. And of course that overstressed it. All right, let's get one more water wheel. I think that'll fix it. It's always a solution. One more water wheel. Ooh, secret emerald back here. So if we put you here and you there. Yeah, that fixed it. Can I by chance go up to 128? No, of course not. Let's get it to 198. And how are we looking? Hey, that's all the water we needed. 2 pumps did the trick. So now we are at 147, almost 150 SU with just this one setup. And I'm pretty sure a max size windmill is around 8,000 SU, just to give you a comparison. And this gives us nearly 150,000. That is incredible, which means I'm happy to close this. And of course, the real test is just to see if it holds up, if this is going to keep going. Because now, every time one of these runs out, this is going to have to keep throwing the lava in. And given the size of this, I mean, it's already full. As long as we don't use this lava for anything else, this is going to be fine. Which means if we need more lava, we might do an infinite source eventually. I'm not quite sure about that. But for now, this is great. 150 SU right at the beginning. I love that. And like I said, we can keep going. We can expand this if we need to. In fact, we could probably fit one right next to it if we needed to. Or go back on that wall and put one on the other side. But either way, I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to last us for a while. All we need to do now is route the power up through the top. I think I left some of my things in here. Yeah, I wanted the stressometer, and I thought I brought chain conveyors. Maybe I didn't. We'll grab those in a second. And just so I remember, what we need is chain conveyors and then also something to close this up, so probably a lot of glass or window panes. And I think if we just put these on the bottom and connect everything to this. Can I turn it? Yeah, I can. There we go, like that. Now we can just see the stress right there. All right, let's go get those things from spawn that we need, and then we can route the power up through the top. No, I definitely did grab them. What did I do with them? Didn't use them all. I'll just grab more. Yeah, we also wanted glass, and I have an idea for that. I know a place where there's lots of sand. Hello. Let's cook all of this up, and then we'll head back. Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, feel free. The nerve of some people. There we go, lots of glass. I kind of want to try these. Ornate iron window. We'll turn those into panes so we get more bang for our buck, and we'll head back. Okay, so first of all, we want this going out the top, which means these 3 are going to have to go. We'll get everything connected to a single point like that using the chain drives, and then we need to dig it out from the top. I think it's this spot right here that we're standing on. So if we dig down, yep, perfect. Beauteous. Now we go up. Oh, one thing, I wonder if we should do a speed controller to have this coming out at full speed. Yeah, I've got one left. Let's do that. One of these here. Get you on top of that. Bring it up to full speed. Bring it over this way. Actually, it'd probably be easier if it was off to the side. Do that. One of these. We turn it around. There you go. Now we go up and out. And that looks much better. Much, much better. And my thought was, we do something like this where we bring it up, we've got our chain conveyor, and then, like I said, we can send this along anywhere that we need it. But this is perfect. We now have, I just can't imagine that we'd need a lot more power than this. So we are good. We are good for a bit, I would think. I would hope. I really hope. I don't want to do more of these, like, immediately. But look at this. This is looking great. We do, however, still need to fill in this back wall. How do we want to do that? Ooh, it's loading more up. Let's check. Yeah, it seems to be happy with this. I think we're good now. I still saw it put an empty bucket right from here onto there, but I think as long as it can keep up with that spout getting 1 or 2 at a time, we should be fine. So let's just, yeah, let's kind of hope for the best there. If you, if you see what's wrong here and you want to let me know in the comments, that would be great, because in my mind, I thought it would prioritize the ones with lava in, and it's not doing that. So if you see something I'm doing wrong here, let me know. Okay, let's get this part closed up. We'll get a stripped oak frame around the area, and I don't expect to have to go in and out of here, so I'm okay just closing it completely off. And I think we'll do just a couple different segments, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll separate it with the diorite pillars. Then we'll add in some cut tough wall, thinking a shape like that, because then the windows can go in between all of that stuff. Just make sure I like that. I think it needs more definition out here. That helps. We might want to get some fences too. But either way, let's see how these windows look. Get those added in here. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. There we go. Yeah, it needs a little bit more extra something. So I'm going to get probably fences and I don't know. I'll see if I've got anything else. Connect those on the edges. We'll put some more fences here. I think it just needs more color, more complexity. I brought stone buttons. I never use buttons, whoops. But I think it'd be a nice way to just do little things like this. And I'm kind of straying away from create available stuff. I know I'm sure I could use copycat panels and things like that right now. I also know we're trying to get away from torches, but I am going to put a couple out here. Then how about shafts right up at the top, and then connect all of those with chain. There we go. No. There we go. Okay, yeah, that looks more complete now. Just a little bit extra. Like, it's too plain when you just have the one thing, but when you add that extra bits, if I remember, it wouldn't hurt to get brackets on those. But yeah, that's great. Now, if you look at it from a distance, just like, oh, something's going on there. That's pretty cool. The might of industry. All right, I'm happy with that. And from the inside, yeah, you'll never really see it from the inside. It's kind of right up against this. But that works. I like it. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that. There's a separate one for engineer's goggles, so I can keep those on. You can't even see them, but I could have my helmet on and they still work. That's cool. All right, I need a quick break, and it just so turns out I'm recording on Foxy's birthday, and it does look like he's online right now, so let's go say happy birthday. Ooh, look at this. Conduit. Hey, Foxy.
Oh, Legion's here. Hey, buddy. How you doing, bud?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I heard it's a special day today.
It is, yeah. It is a special day.
Do you know why it's special?
Is it Christmas?
No, it's Thursday. Garbage day.
Oh, yeah, Thursday. Woo! Garbage day.
Hooray. There's a conduit down here. This is great.
Yeah, so to make it easier for me to do this, you see. There's slightly less drowns, and I can see and breathe without having to wear all that scuba gear.
Very nice. Hey, I heard you talking a minute ago on your stream about the netherite gear. I just got some, and I have an extra template. Would you like...
Oh, do you?
Would you like an extra template as your birthday present?
Oh, would I?
All right, I can go grab it if you're interested, and you can do your duplicating.
Very interested, thank you.
All right, I'll be right back.
Amazing. Thanks, bud.
Yep, I am back.
Hello, back. I am Foxy.
Why can't I... Why am I not swimming? Why am I just hovering?
just sort of floating around. Good job, buddy. You're going to throw that to me and he's going to go up there.
There you go. It's behind you. Many happy returns. It's up here.
Oh, so there. Okay.
Floating.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that saved me a job.
Hey,
like bastions.
When I went to look, the first bastion I found in the first chest, I found that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
I just
was
assumed
shocked.
they'd have all gone, like Stam and Chosen and everyone would have just got them all. So I was expecting to have to travel thousands of blocks in the nether.
That's exactly
amazing.
what I thought. And that was my experience with the Elytra in the end. And I was not looking forward to another one. So,
No, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, bud.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's looking nice around here. You said this is to cover up your tracks and everything for the boat?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to obviously add some lumps and bumps in with some gravel, throw some kelp and bits and bobs down, make it look a little bit more underwatery and nice. And it doesn't look like, a quarry anymore. It just looks like the bottom of a lake.
Well, yeah, there's no hole to get down to your workshop anymore.
There's no workshop anymore.
That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna be moving some of my stuff probably pretty soon too.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, Nautilus shell.
Oh, yeah. Good. Excellent. I don't think we need that nether block anymore either.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why that was there. I saw a witch spawned on there the other day, and it was just a solitary
Really?
witch standing in the middle of the lake. Very sad.
Oh, yeah. It was there because it was how I got on my boat because I had to fly onto it. So I'd just hop onto that and then be able to fly onto my boat.
Ah.
Hello.
Handy. Copper.
Yeah, I don't need that. I've got plenty of copper. So what are you up to today, Mr. Legion? Are you building anything fantastical?
I am finishing up an episode, and speaking of moving, I picked a spot, I think kind of near where you're setting up your permanent base. Cool, well I'll just grab a couple more of these guys, and then I will probably run back and leave you to it.
Okay, bud. Well, thanks for popping in, and thank you very much for my present. It's greatly
Absolutely.
appreciated.
And enjoy the rest of this stream. Nice seeing everybody. We'll talk to you later.
See you later, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, he looks like he's having a lot of fun. We'll leave him to it. And while I was flying around, I thought of something I wanted to do, mainly because I think it'll be fun. So we got the power up on this chain conveyor, but we haven't hooked it up anywhere else yet, mainly because I don't know where I'm, making anything else. But I want to guess, and there's a very good reason. So let's just, kind of put one along the edges. So, for example, we could put one over here, jump up this way, chain conveyor on top, cover that up, and there you go. Do another one over here, and you see what I mean. They'll kind of wrap around and then go up that way. And once again, this is for a very good reason, not a silly, kind of not really necessary reason. There we go. Now, big question, do I have enough chain to connect all of these together? Okay, that's 16 chain. That's really not too bad, so I think I should have enough, that is. There we go, 18 to that one, and bring it back over to this one. There we go. And now we've got power all the way up there. That's so cool. Hold on, take a look out here. Yeah, so that's what I had in mind, kind of wrapping up around this way, going up here. We could even have it wrap back around and do a full circle if we wanted to. Don't really need to, but we could do it. Now, as I mentioned, there's a really important reason to do this. And it is, of course, so we could go for an awesome ride up here. Whoa, hey, no, what happened to the wrench? There we go, okay. That is so great. I don't know why it shows me running every once in a while, but oh, we're going back down. So we have to be careful with that, but that was what I was thinking. I was getting kind of tired of going up and down the normal way, so, ooh, we can make one of these to the house we built too. That way we could just ride this down. How cool is that? I love this so much. All right, so now shift. Haha, perfect. Okay, yeah, let's build one to the little builder's hut. That way, when we're here, all we have to do is grab onto this, and it would bring us all the way down to the builder's hut. Actually, I wonder what happens if it takes a turn. Or can it take a turn? Or split is what I mean. Maybe it doesn't have to. Let's move you, tree. And these are my last two, so this will have to be it for now. Also, this one's going to be dangerous. Look at that. It's like right over a cliff. All right, so if we go to here, then we would want to come all the way down to here, get power down at this side, but also just away here. Last one. Get these connected up. Hiya! All right, now we can test it. So say we're down at the builder's hut, we want to get back up to the portal, but I don't have any rockets. Now I can jump, grab on, fly all the way up on this super fast. Wow. Yeah, this isn't going to get old. I'm absolutely in love with this. I still don't know why he does I do the running thing there like that. Oh, and we're here. I know, cool, right? Man, there is so much potential up here. Just looking at what we did there. Actually, this one, well, that's where the power's coming from. I was about to say this one we probably wouldn't need because it awkwardly goes off in that direction, but that's actually where the power is. We could always change the configuration in the future if we need, but that's really cool. All right, now this is important. I'm going to be looking for your feedback here. I've probably mentioned little tidbits about what I have planned for this area, but as I said, I'll need your help with this. So what we've got so far, we've got the builder's hut down here in the valley, along with the little opening showing where the power is being generated. That's coming up right here. But my vision for this in the future is sort of a small scale roam. I guess you could think of it that way. So the reason I chose this is because it's a lot of hills, or it's one hill, but it's a lot of little tiny hills on top of that we can sort of replicate, maybe things like the Capitoline Hill, the Palatine Hill, all the different sorts of areas of Rome. But I'm looking for other ideas because there's so much cool things we can do with this. For example, the shape of it almost looks like a Colosseum. So right in the center, there could be a Colosseum area with the tops of the hills being things like, you know, the Forum or a palace for us or things like that. Under here looks great. That could be maybe the new Vulcan's Forge because it almost looks like you're descending into the underworld here, especially, I think it does. Yeah, it does dip down further there. So I'm trying to come up in my mind with something we can do with this area so that it all fits together. It's a little bit further apart than back at spawn, but one cohesive design. And it doesn't all have to be on the hill, by the way. We also have this little area right over here. We can build next to the builder's hut and make a little plebeian village down here. We're right next to the water, so we could make something like a docks area with some of our Roman ships. And of course, there's the surrounding area back here where, again, there's more area off the top of the hill where it could be smaller things or factories or things that you wouldn't necessarily want in like a palatial type of area. So I'll be looking to all of those comments and just trying to figure out what is the outline going to be here. I'm counting on you, citizen. Ooh, it appears we're on top of a ravine too. I'm just trying to do a little bit more looking around and see what's around here. It's gonna be a lot of lighting up to do in underground areas, I'm sure. I was just about to wrap up, but it looks like Stam is on, and I think he's handing out free trees. And I'm sure that's not a misunderstanding.
No worries. Oh, where's Legion?
There's Legion.
You don't want to buy some trees? Do you? No? He doesn't want to buy trees.
Oh, there you are. No, I heard you were handing out free trees.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
No,
just
no.
Tell him it's your birthday.
Only to the birthday boy.
Tell him it's your birthday.
Yep. Yeah, it's my birthday.
See you later, guys.
I'm leaving.
Have a rest of your days. I'm going to end my stream now. If either of you are streaming,
you only have to buy it once.
Is anyone streaming? Are either of you streaming?
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh,
okay. I mean, I could go live, but I don't think I will.
Right. Okay. Well, okay. So I'll just end my stream in a minute then. See you later,
Bye,
guys.
Foxy stream.
Thank you for the present.
Bye.
But really though, those.
Oh my god, you have netherite.
Yeah, just got it.
Oh my god.
I did see those trees though in Beardy's episodes, and they look really good.
Oh yeah. It's changed now though, so you buy the right to use a schematic.
So just the one schematic.
Yeah, you buy it once, and then you're allowed to make more of them. Because I mean, theoretically, you could make more of them now, but you know, sportsmanship and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, so probably bad form to just go find one of the trees out there in the world and make a schematic of it.
Oh yes, no, that would be highly illegal. Highly illegal.
Going back to court if we're doing that.
Yes.
Where are the prices?
Oh, over here. And then you see in the corner, you can see which one it is. I do need to figure out a better like interface for the shop, but you can see, if you look at them, you can see pine small, pine large, spruce large, yada yada. Not even the name, it's the yellow text.
It's not bad. Yeah,
Some
I think
of them, it depends on the size of them, and then you buy them once, and then you can make more of them yourself.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think once everybody starts buying these, you should do pretty well, I would think.
Yeah, and then there's gonna be more as well.
Very nice. Well, I know I just picked the spot where I'm gonna be building more of a permanent base. So when I start decorating, I will be back definitely for some trees.
Very nice. Love me some trees.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for showing me around. I will be back, I'm sure.
Yes.
Very good. All right. We'll see you later, Stam.
Doodles.
Bye. Okay, cool. So yeah, we will be back. Some of those trees look great. But back to the topic at hand. I'll just give you one last reminder. Send me in comments about what your thoughts are for this area, because that's probably where the next several episodes are going to be focused. Building all of this up, making it look more, like I said, like a small version of Rome, and also just setting up the different factories. Like I think probably the first couple things we're going to be doing is just moving what we already have over here, but that'll most likely be compressed since you already saw me do it anyway. I don't want to do like a double episode where we do the same thing again. So we'll move workshop, storage, iron, andesite, gold, carrots, all that sort of thing. That'll probably move over here. But we'll need many, many, many more things. So give me those ideas. But with that, I will say, as always, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one, citizens.